In this episode, our mothers, Glanda Gardeen and Eloise Zinfandel, visit Booth 42 and quickly form an alliance based on letting the universe know how disappointed they are in us.
Also, Trellis's mother talks about her bazooms a lot, and we sort of learn what happened to my father.
So roll up your towel into a pillow, lean back, and
prepare to learn how much wine Trellis's mother can drink in a single episode.
Shut up and sit down.
Welcome back to Hitchhikers and Appetizers, coming to you from Booth 42 at Millyways. I am, of course, Trellis Gardeen, and with me, as always, my boon companion, my fellow guide contributor.
Yes.
The man who I've eaten many an appetizer with. Horatio Zinn.
You pause for a moment, enough for me to think, oh, is there a new co-host and I don't know about it yet? And I was preparing to pretend to welcome them and not walk off very sadly.
I've sent out audition notices, but as of yet, gotten no replies.
Yes, no one is large enough to fill my spot.
As for right now, your job is safe.
Our listeners may not know there's a fan over here, and Trellis gets cold very easily, and I sit here so that I can bar the waves of wind hitting it.
The skin has been stretched so many times from the plastic surgery. Goosebumps are incredibly painful.
Oh, yes.
They push up and out, and it's pins and needles.
To visualize, it's a bit like packing material, and you can just go in there and just pop, 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 pop.
Don't do that.
I'm sorry, I can't help it. I get nervous. I want something to do with my hands.
I asked you not to do that the one time you tried, and just don't even bring it up.
What about when we let the little children throw those little darts at your face? It was for charity.
I've never let it be said that I'm not one to donate my face for a good cause.
Especially when you're tied down and forced to do it.
Yes.
Today, this is a very special episode. Without these guests, most likely we would not be here today. So if you want to thank them or blame them, it's really up to you. Our guests today are our mothers.
Yes.
They appear to be preparing themselves to join us here in the booth.
Well, they haven't seen us in a while.
It's been a while. I'm sorry. Okay, yes, your mother is asking for yet another bottle of wine.
That's the woman that raised me. Welcome to the show, Glanda Gardeen.
Can I speak now? It's so hard not to talk.
I could tell you were so anxious that you were ready to jump in, but you actually let me get a word in edgewise before, so thank you so much.
Well, it's your thing, you know.
May I say, I just want to break in and say it's wonderful to meet you, and I never imagined that I could see someone with such large, pillowy lips. I just want to say they're wonderful, and I want to compliment you on it.
Okay.
Oh, she's easy. I like this.
Horatio, it's good to meet you too. I didn't mean to not say that.
This, of course, would be Eloise Zinfandel. Sorry, I may have mispronounced it. I'm not sure.
You're not sure of your own last name?
What's her last name, not my last name?
Yes, we have slightly different last names. I'm Eloise Zinfandel.
And as you may know from our years of being friends, I am Horatio Zinn. You notice there's no Findel.
What's going on there?
Well, you see, every generation has a slightly shorter last name. It starts off extremely long, and generation after generation, it gets slightly shorter. Therefore, I am, and his father are, the Zinfandels, whereas he is the Zinn generation, and so on, until you run out of syllables, sounds, grunts, etc., and then it simply starts over again.
How would anyone even remember what the original long name was?
Oh, no, they just start with a new one entirely.
Oh.
The original names often will take several days to speak out loud.
That's very Schenectady.
But Mother, can you remember great grandpa's? What was the last name?
Zinfin Delta 8 Smuggity Bog Flapjack. Flapjack. Smidgen. Possum. Bon Jovi. Jones. The third.
Yes, yes. Now, you may notice that she laughed during it. That's
Is
because...
that part of the name?
That was the generation when things got just a little bit silly.
Now, we pulled you both away from, and we know you're very busy. To maybe show off a little what your boys are doing these days. Big guide contributors, very important stuff.
Oh, so you feel it's worth showing off, do you? That's nice, dear.
Success is something that you can measure in various ways, Mother.
Monetarily? Prestige?
Grandchildren.
Those are included in the list of ways that you can measure it.
Respect?
You're still cold. Very cold. Very cold.
Something I can tell my friends about?
I would love that.
You're with me on that then, Glanda. Yes.
Yes, I've been waiting for that moment.
Oh, I simply have to make things up. I don't know about you, but...
Yeah, same.
I enjoy making things up.
Well, I'm sorry, Mom, that I did not give you a grand offspring from the 23 wives. It was not due to
23 tries you had. You had 23 tries, and you got zero. That is batting zero.
Or it's impressive. It's impressive depending on how you look at it.
Very consistent in his misfires, apparently.
Okay.
Now, I just realized something, Trellis.
Yes.
And Glanda. I just realized that I did not know, but I just realized that I have met you, Glanda. The only thing I recognize about you is your ring.
That's not the only thing you recognize.
No, what else would I recognize?
My ample bosoms.
That's it. Hello. Hello.
Come on, Mom. Did you have to?
What, Trellis? It's true!
They're the elephants in the room, Trellis.
Elephant or elephants?
Both. Trellis, they're perfect, and you know it.
My mom's, how did you put them? Bosoms?
Bosoms.
Are the model that all augmentations on our planet are done after.
They are.
So I pretty much see my mom wherever I go.
Oh, everywhere.
When I'm at home.
I must say that you clearly did not breastfeed.
Oh,
No.
No.
Because...
Why would I do that?
You can't ruin the gold mine.
No.
Well, no, it was certainly not a criticism. I did not breastfeed either.
That's why he's so hungry.
I tried very hard to have as little physical contact with Horatio as was possible.
Well, that makes sense.
I'm amazed you found the right baby at the hospital. Are you sure he's his? Are you even sure he's yours?
Oh, unfortunately, yes, we did have tests done.
Yes, yes.
I hear you about the physical contact. While I did not breastfeed, he went to sleep in my bazooms every night.
Incredibly cozy.
That explains why Trellis likes waterbeds so much.
A good night's sleep is very important, Horatio.
You have to look as young as possible, which you clearly don't understand because you're not
No.
from our planet.
Age is not something you cover up on our world.
Oh, age is something you never let anyone see. I started getting Trellis I got him some baby Botox when he was 3.
Ooh, is that early or late on your world?
Standard. I'd say it's standard.
So Trellis wasn't slow or anything he was in his development and that thing?
No.
No. What are you trying to say about my son?
Oh, whatever I can get away with. That's what I'd say about your son.
I do have to say that if I had had the option to get plastic surgery for my son, I would have jumped on it because he was an ugly, ugly child.
Well, you know you could still do it.
There's always a chance for that belated third birthday gift.
Eloise, I feel very sorry for you. I'm so sorry. And if I had known you back then, but he still can, we could make him a less ugly adult.
At this point, I do feel it is a lost cause, but I appreciate your support.
There's a much more room to cover than there was when I was young.
The expense alone to stretch that skin, astronomical.
It is worth it, let me tell you.
He does have a good pair of bazooms.
We bought him his first brassiere when he was a mere 4 months old.
Oh.
It's got a bit of a tradition on Schenectady.
The fat rolls were immense.
Yes, I was very proud of those.
Well, this little podcast you're doing is pretty, interesting. I mean, I'm proud of you.
I like how convincing you sounded when you said that.
I mean,
There was so much deep emotion that came out.
it's neat that you both found good
Neat?
friends, you know, in each other.
Neat?
Neat. Tidy.
I, for one, never thought that Horatio would find any kind of friendship. Cordial, casual.
But she used to buy inanimate objects and glue googly eyes on them and sit there. Oh, here's your new friend.
Excuse me, can I get filled up over here, please?
Yes, by all means, bring on more wine. By all means.
Thank you.
Whatever keeps her distracted from talking about grandchildren is perfectly good with me.
Well, how about this? Do you have anything to say to your mothers for Mother's Day?
Oh,
Thank God you're here.
I'm sorry, hold on a minute. Eloise, did Horatio give you any kind of Mother's Day gift this year? Or a call, or a text, or a Space Jam?
I can honestly say that no. I heard not one peep from my son.
No, I heard not a piddle. Not a piddle.
Did you not get
Get what?
the Botox cheese basket I sent?
I did not, because it would already be gone.
Well, I sent it.
I saw him send it. He bought it in the gift shop right over here. He bought it in the gift shop.
I will say that your eyebrows are astonishingly high.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
I have not. They have not moved once during this whole conversation.
I said I want my eyebrows 1 inch from my hairline.
And that stuck.
Could you have moved your hairline and your eyebrows equidistant?
Horatio.
Yes.
There's nothing that hasn't been moved on me other than my bazooms.
Ah, very good. Just wanted to make sure. This is a flip book of Trellis's face from over the years.
Oh,
And you notice that some of them are in relief, so they like poke up like a bit like a relief map. And you can boop his nose.
oh, I love it. What a thoughtful gift.
Yes, isn't it? And it's all for you, and you can look back and go, oh, I don't recognize him at all.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Well, that's
Very
what's
good.
important.
Better than what my son got me.
I thought it would be.
Hey, that was the most expensive gift they had. And I sent it overnight.
I have to call Bernard after this and find out if it's there.
Don't tell Dad.
Why would I not tell your father?
Because he
It's-
never signs for anything. He's all conspiratorial about his signature getting written down
That's true.
and stored, and then that's how they get you. Because once they got your
Never
signature, they
send
can
anything
fill out
certified mail. That's
anything
true.
they want, and then your identity's stolen.
It's true. Don't ever send anything certified mail to us.
Now, I had a question for Eloise, since you mentioned the breastfeeding. Is that where his love of sauces came from?
Well, yes, you see, because I myself would not breastfeed him,
She withheld love.
it was important to me that Horatio, from an early age, understood his place within our household.
And how easy it was to fall from that low point.
Exactly.
Can you fall when you're at the bottom?
Oh, yes. Well, you roll around.
We did move to a different house
Yes.
at one point to simply establish for him that his place within our household literally no longer existed.
Yes. My parents were very, very deliberate about establishing boundaries.
Yes.
Often literal walls.
Children are too often coddled, and we didn't want him to become too attached to his family.
No, certainly not.
Like Trellis became too attached to my bazooms.
Now, to answer your question, Trellis, so in lieu of my own bazooms to provide sustenance, we simply sent him to a local buffet
This makes
and
sense.
set him on the sauce bar
Oh, I thought you were gonna say the ice cream maker too, right?
Oh, no. That would have been.
Ice cream is a form of sauce. It's a cold sauce.
I must say, Eloise, it is just a pleasure to meet you.
Glanda, I must say, after all these years and after everything I've heard about Trellis, you are refreshingly delightful.
Oh, thank you.
Did you not expect her to be?
No, from everything I'd heard.
Yes, for sure.
Well, the bar was set exceptionally low, I really must say.
So low.
I will not argue with that.
I think you should come to Glandar and we should look at some things you could get done for fun. You can stay with me. You could get some, I don't know. What do you not like about yourself?
Well, I don't like that I'm Horatio's mother.
Oh, he's already been removed.
One thing we cannot totally excise, apparently, is he keeps finding me. But I must say, I've always wanted to have my kneecaps done.
She's always been very sensitive about those.
You will never feel better. Let me tell you.
Yes.
I've got just the thing. You may not be able to use them as well after, but they will never look younger or better.
Well, do you know, that is good enough for me because, frankly, I find movement to be tedious.
It is exhausting.
Oh,
I'd move as little as possible.
I mean, when you reach 2,346 years of age, I tell you what.
Oh, my mother revealed her age.
Well, not my actual age. A lady doesn't tell.
This is her 2,346th birthday.
Trellis, shut up. Your mother is talking.
Oh, Trellis, mother's talking.
Sorry, Mom.
Now, Eloise, I feel like you know this.
Bazoo!
Trellis, you're in timeout. These boys just interrupting their mothers? Oh,
You would think that my neglect would have taught him better.
yes. Well, I was going to talk to Trellis, but now after their behavior over here, I would rather just talk to you a little bit.
Do you know that sounds delightful?
I think
Because
so.
I tire.
Trellis,
I tire of.
should we just go to the gift
Excuse me.
shop or go to the buffet?
Horatio, you are now in timeout for 2 minutes.
Yes.
I'll just sit here and be quiet.
Eloise.
Yes! Glanda!
Tell me about yourself.
You're decanting that whole bottle in yourself.
Trellis, you are still in timeout.
Sorry, Mom.
Glanda, I must ask.
Yes, please.
On your planet,
Yeah.
when you have children that you just simply don't like, is there anything you can do to rid yourself of them?
I assume this is a hypothetical.
Do you know, I used to threaten Horatio that if he held a face for too long, it would literally freeze into that position. So you, in
That
fact,
happens all the time on Glandar.
I did try to freeze it because I found an expression I really liked and it just hurt.
I believe that it is perhaps, Glanda, hard for those who are not perfection to understand what it is to be perfection.
I am liking you more and more, Eloise. I tell you, I think you should come up next weekend, and we will have a time.
Do you know, that sounds delightful, and you will have to come to Schenectady
Oh,
at some point.
oh, please.
And if you can manage to get through the airport and customs, which I will say, due to a certain amount of disorganization, can be a trying affair, it would be marvelous to have you come and visit with us.
I'm gonna get a few things done. I'm gonna come. I feel like even with the disorganization, they are not gonna recognize me from my passport anyway. So,
Just wear the low-cut top you always do.
Consider changing your passport photo to your bazooms.
Oh.
Why don't you just grab them by the head and pull them in and shake it around?
what head are you talking about, Trellis?
The customs agent.
Oh,
No, that makes perfect sense. Yes,
okay.
perfect.
That makes a lot more sense. Got it.
Oh, Glanda Gardeen, come on in. Clearly you're not here for business. It's all pleasure.
I have a question for my mother. Have they found father yet?
No.
How could you not expect that to be the answer from a Schenectady search party? Do they even know they're a search party?
He wandered into the living room one day,
Yes.
and that was approximately 15 years ago.
Well, that's because your living room's probably 30 miles from the
Yes.
kitchen.
Yes. Totally different complex.
Well, yes. I am therefore convinced that he's still in the living room somewhere, and at some point we will perhaps see each other again.
Let's have to figure out which living room. Oh, bottle number 10. Just bring the whole cellar out here.
Our family can put it away.
Drink as much as we want.
I admire that as well.
We also never get skin cancer?
Because you don't have your real skin.
That's right. I have a question for my son.
I would like to hear Glanda's question for her son.
Oh, thanks. You really are a delight.
You get each other.
Oh,
You certainly
well.
do.
God. I wanted to know, Trellis, why don't you call your mother more?
Oh,
Oh, that's a good question.
I can't imagine why he wouldn't call you more.
And I want a real answer.
And in follow-up to that, Horatio, I would like to know why you continuously call your mother. He calls me at least once every 10 years, and I'm telling you, it's too much.
That's tiring.
Because Dad always picks up the phone. And then I gotta...
He does. He does not like to sign for a package, but he loves to pick up the phone, that Bernard.
I gotta listen to 3 hours of why he can't get his
Earlobes
modified and how his tongue straw surgery
Tongue straw surgery was unsuccessful.
Exactly.
Did it reject the straw?
He tried to have a crazy straw. Put in.
Oh.
He wanted a crazy straw, and also Bernard is not great under sedation.
Oh, Glanda.
You need him to be still while you shove that straw up in the tongue.
My
Yes!
poor dear. My poor dear. Oh.
And I am waiting in the waiting room, and they're coming out 15, 20 times saying, oh, we almost got the straw in, or the
Oh.
kneecaps lifted, or whatever else it might be.
Oh.
He twitched and it went in the wrong...
Which,
If I had any idea where my husband was, I can tell you I would be terrifically distressed at something like that.
If she knew where he was.
and my husband is an annoying pundit, but
Oh.
he is a beautiful man.
We should be for everything you've spent, I would think.
No one on the planet has any savings. It's all getting reinvested.
I imagine he would actually be several beautiful men.
I've liked them all.
That's
to be
lovely.
honest.
That's lovely.
I would be
That's
satisfied with just one.
Yeah. I mean, the look of them.
It keeps the romance alive for sure.
I would be satisfied with just one beautiful man.
Eloise. Eloise. Let me tell you, Eloise, we have some men and you are coming to visit.
Oh.
And I'm going to help you not only get a couple of nips, not on your nips, or maybe, I don't know, you might want the Glanda.
I must say, I am very tempted by the Glandas.
Anyway, there are some men. We could find you.
It has been 15 years since he wandered into the living room, so technically I could have him declared dead.
Oh, he might be fine with that, actually. I remember once he was talking to her, he said, "Oh, if I could have any wish, it would be that I'm dead.
Excuse me.
Or at least that my wife would think I was dead. Don't tell your mother."
That sounds like something he would say.
I've had a little bit... Horatio, I've had a little bit of wine.
What?
I've had a little bit of wine.
I noticed.
I have a question for you now.
Oh, good. I'm glad you waited till
Oh.
you were loud and drunk to ask me a
Face the
question.
crosshairs.
Do you miss or want to know your father?
I think of Father as this being who would kind of wander from room to room grumbling. And I do miss the background noise. I did get an ASM thing of just grumbling sounds.
ASMR?
No, I couldn't afford that. So I just got the ASM.
Oh, no R.
Now, I must say that Horatio's father was even more detached than I was to our offspring.
Which I always appreciated.
Well, I now have another question for Trellis.
Oh my. I think they flip roles around here, Trellis.
Who's the interviewer and who's the interviewee?
Do you now realize, Trellis, do you now realize how your upbringing was right for you?
Too late to change it now, I suppose.
Yeah,
You had a mother's bazooms to fall asleep in every night. You had a father who, while very averse to signing packages, was also very loving and sentimental and gentle with you, which you needed because you are a very sensitive boy.
Constant reassurance.
And I mean, Horatio, obviously, I'm not judging.
Oh, I am.
Horatio, that was what you needed.
But there weren't enough pictures. There weren't enough pictures of me up on the wall.
Well, but with all your different faces, you would have to have an extremely large house.
Exactly. You two didn't work hard enough to provide us with a wall that could put all my pictures on.
It was too many pictures. You're exhausting.
Now, I must ask you, given your upbringing of detachment
Yes.
and sauce bar
Yes.
and absenteeism, neglect,
Symbolic and physical walls between affection and...
lack of love, caring, or any sort of sense of attachment, I must say, are you grateful now?
I envy you, Eloise. I envy you.
I do appreciate it because over the years, I've noticed when people wander away from me, I think, oh, I've really hit the mark here.
If I have prepared you for a life of quiet desperation and loneliness, then I have done my job as a mother.
You have done your job, Eloise.
And I wanted to show you the tribute. The tribute to you is that you don't even know that you have grandchildren.
Oh, I know that they exist. I simply don't acknowledge that they exist.
Oh, yes, good. That's what I try to do as well.
And listen, I've had a little bit of wine.
A lot of bit of wine.
I'm just saying, I think Eloise and I are on the same page.
Yes.
That you guys, you both had the childhoods that you deserved.
I think you are on the mark, Glanda. On the mark.
I feel like you two are fishing for a lot of validation for your horrible jobs as mothers.
Horrible!
There, I said it.
You had
I
every
said it. That's
plastic
right.
surgery procedure
That's
you
right.
could have ever dreamed of.
I had the least nurturing environment, and I just want to say I'm grateful. I don't think I would be the person I am without your parenting, Mother.
Trellis, do you hear your friend Horatio? He is respectful to his mother and thankful and grateful.
Yes, every time she hits me with the ruler, I make sure to voice my respect. Yes.
Every single time he took me into the office to get something done, I always got the third or fourth tier of it. I never got the good stuff.
Stop it! You stop talking! Every vacation, before every single vacation we took, we got you a surgery!
Ow! Stop it!
Oh, that's going to puff up nicely.
Horatio, tell your mom to stop hitting me. She's not even my mom.
Summer camps, vacations, it didn't matter. We got you a surgery every single time.
Every time that he looked recognizable, you made sure to get a new surgery. That's beautiful.
I am so disappointed.
You never gave me what I really wanted, Mom.
Which
no,
was what?
What was that? Let's take a moment.
Bazooms.
On
No!
yourself? You wanted bazooms on yourself?
You're not gonna get the Glanda when
Stop it.
I'm your mother. I'm your mother. You must show respect for the bazooms, young man. Respect the bazooms.
The one surgery I wanted, and they wouldn't give it to me.
Never. You are banned on Glandar from getting the Glanda.
Oh, no. No Glanda for Trellis.
I am very sad. I'm very sad.
Now you know how I feel.
Trellis, I hope you're happy. that you have so disappointed your mother. And I've broken my ruler.
There is just so much unsettled business for you right now. I don't know what to do with it.
Trellis, did you ever give my mother the gift that you picked out for her? I gave your mother the gift that I picked out for her.
I don't know if I want it now that I've seen the gift he's given his mother.
I ate it. I ate it, Horatio.
What was it? What was it?
It was a firecracker shrimp with wham bam sauce. What do you think?
So you just basically ordered your usual appetizer and said that's a gift for my mother.
Thank you, Eloise, and thank you, Horatio, for bringing up my son giving your mother a gift after that last exchange! Eloise, you are a gem, Eloise.
I believe you're doing an admirable job, Glanda, considering how drunk you are and how incredibly huge your lips are.
Thank you, and my bazooms.
And bazooms. Glanda, I must ask, when you gave birth to Trellis, was it as traumatic as it was when I gave birth to Horatio?
Eloise, to answer your question, it actually was... I mean, it made my body change, but I fixed it, no big deal. But the thing is, I regret it now, after this conversation on this podcast.
You regret giving birth to your son. Is that what we're talking about here on Mother's Day?
I'm not sure. I'm gonna need some time to process, but I believe that it was torturous now. Now that I think back to it, as Eloise has asked me, it was torturous.
What a beautiful moment.
And you know, Glanda, I would be more than happy to provide you with ample examples about why you are correct and why we are so obviously kindred spirits in our mutual dislikes.
Mom, is there anything you would like to
Kindred,
promote?
very. Yeah.
I can't imagine that anyone would choose to look like my son.
No, I certainly didn't.
Oh,
I certainly didn't.
That is deep, Eloise. We are going to have some talks about that.
I tell why anyone would choose those parts over anything else.
When you could choose anything in the world except the Glanda. Except the Glanda.
Of course.
Trellis, you're awful quiet.
I'm biding my time until
Until what, Trellis?
you're gone.
Until I'm gone? I had no idea!
Ow!
You had so much animosity toward me! Yeah, this is one of the worst experiences.
Glanda!
Yes, Eloise.
We should have our own show.
Glanda and Eloise
Oh.
do the world.
We could give so many mothering tips.
Do the universe, actually. And Glanda and Eloise do the universe.
Once I get my Glandas done, we will do this universe. You and me, Glanda. With my fancy new kneecaps and my Glandas, I can take anything.
Yes, you can. And I will say, Trellis, that is what I'm promoting. Our new show.
Maybe at the end of it, you can fly your spaceship into a sun. Ow!
Yes!
Oh,
Are you going to be recording it here?
Yes!
Yes.
we have, this is our booth, and we,
It's about time you stood up for yourself, Horatio.
all right, now I'm sinking back already.
We will be taking the adjacent...
You two will record us, and you will mix it, and you will be the text and Horatio. I don't care what you say, you will do it.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I think 3 more bottles. She's gone through 3 more bottles. We need maybe 3 more to replace that.
I have one question for you, Horatio.
And I may have a number of answers. Please.
Would you like to fall asleep in my bazooms tonight?
What?
Oh my! This is to be totally non-sexual, then yes, because I enjoy sleeping on comfy things.
Glanda,
Yes, Eloise.
I must insist that you rethink, because the crushing weight
Oh,
of just his head alone
okay.
could do irreparable damage to those magnificent.
Horatio, it's off the table.
I would say yes, Glanda. If you weren't convinced, I would say I will sit up and you look at the groove that I have worn into the booth here, the bush booth cushions. I am drunk.
Sometimes in life you just have a feeling of trust.
Yeah.
And I have that with your mother. And whatever she says goes.
I will have to make my own out of cushions and linen.
I will give you a hug.
Oh, a hug. That's lovely. Oh, that was interesting.
That is by far more affection than he has ever received from his father or I.
Yes, certainly more. Certainly more.
Well, it's more affection than Trellis is going to receive ever again after tonight. We've got a lot to work through, but I highly doubt.
Yes, I agree.
You made me sound like a terrible mother on this. Where is my son?
He's right beside you. He's that chiseled block of a glazed being sitting next to you.
Separate your bazooms, and I'll be right there.
He's just being awfully quiet again.
I didn't want to get in the way of your flirtations with Horatio.
I thought it was out of self-preservation. The less said,
That
the
too.
better is. Yes, less said, the less to hang over one's head later on.
You should see when my dad and I are together, it's even more quiet.
I'm sure. Do you just sit there and grunt at each other? Or?
Not even that much.
I love it. I'm trying to remember my father. Again, it was just the grumbles. It's mainly the grumbles. And the changing of the temperature in the house.
Eloise, would you like to join me over at this booth, Eloise? Would you like to...
Yes, I
go ahead
think
and-
that is a fantastic...
I think I'm done with this.
I think I am too, Glanda. Let's
I
mosey
think-
over to this other booth
Let's...
and see if we can find much better...
Parallel.
Yes.
The parallel.
Trapezoidally
the
close
perpendicular
to
booth.
this booth.
Why don't you go search for it as you talk about it? Why don't you go search for it as you
think we
talk
can
about
find
Listen,
much
hold
better
on,
company.
Horatio, we are done.
it?
Horatio, we are done with this. You cannot be acting like you're done with this over us.
I was just, well, we're staying here and you were threatening to wander off and you haven't wandered off yet.
You can't fire us. We quit.
Thank you for joining us for Hitchhikers and Appetizers. And of course, special thanks goes to our guests, Glanda Gardeen and Eloise Zinfindel. I have been Trellis Gardeen.
And I continue to be Horatio Zinn. Until next time, keep your towels clean. And if you're under siege by sentient technological beings who've absorbed others of your species and therefore know all of your weaknesses, it's a great time to see how good you are at thinking outside the box. So don't panic. Everything you heard in this episode was improvised, but not everything improvised was heard. This episode of Hitchhikers and Appetizers featured the voice talents of Mike Gorgone as Trellis Gardeen, Bran Peacock as Horatio Zinn, with Jen Caldwell as Glanda Gardeen, and Megan Peacock as Eloise Zinfindel. Finally, Hitchhikers and Appetizers is part of the Improv in Action Network. Check out other great improvised podcasts and projects at improvinaction.com. If you'd like to reach out to Trellis or Horatio, you can send electronic messages to them at our Galaxy address, hitchappspodcast@gmail.com. Or you can find them on Twitter with the handle hitchapps.
And before you go, we here at Hitchhikers and Appetizers would like to announce that we're now a featured podcast on Newsly. Newsly is an all-in-one audio super app for iOS and Android. It picks up the most trending articles on the web on topics you choose at any given moment and reads them to you in a natural human voice. For the first time ever, the entire web becomes listenable, all in one place. Browse articles from topics you choose and start playing. Stop scrolling. Start listening. You can follow any topic as specific as you like, from sports, tech, business, science, Bitcoin, or even the Kardashians. We here at Hitchhikers and Appetizers won't judge you. To your face, at least. Newsly will find you the latest articles and read them to you aloud. And they have podcasts as well. Explore trending podcasts from over 80 countries. As mentioned earlier, our podcast is there too. I started using it as my default podcast app. They even have digital radio. Download and use Newsly for free now from www.newsly.me or from the link in this episode's description, and use the promo code ZERS, Z-E-R-S, to receive a 1-month free premium subscription. 1 month is better than no months, I always say, and I'm Trellis Gardeen.
Shut up and sit down.